Welcome back to Pico Rivera, California. We changed for our gym challenge, league challenge, round number 3 at Psycho Turtle. We are wearing our very cool SoCal VGC jerseys. Show it a little bit there. Thank you once again to Dina for organizing everything for getting these jerseys. They're really, really cool. I like them a lot. We are about to get into round number 3, 2-2-0 competitors right now. We got Felipe Marin versus Lucy Parker. Felipe with the Whimsicott, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Ogerpon, Hearthflame, Vergiraffe, Iron Hands, and that Miraidon, Terra Fairy, Choice Specs, Dazzling Gleam, Draco Meteor, Electro Drift, Volt Switch. And on Lucy's side, Iron Bundle, Iron Crown, Iron Jugulus, Iron Hands, Iron Leaves, and Miraidon, Terra Fairy, Choice Specs, Dazzling Gleam, Draco Meteor, Electro Drift, Volt Switch. I love the Iron team. I think it's hilarious.
I don't know what... Here's the thing.
She's 2-0.
Right, but...
I'm used to her bringing these kinds of nonsense teams and then going like 1-4. So I'm fascinated by those.
So the issue with this team would be Rillaboom, right? Well, against the Miraidon team, that's not going to be an issue. So, unironically, this team is quite difficult to deal with if you don't have terrain control, because now every single Pokemon on the team gets a stat boost.
Yeah, and I mean, you're getting a bit out of the same terrain. I mean,
but he didn't
Miraidon gets the
he didn't bring Iron Hands.
Iron Hands, yeah, I guess if you're not going to bring Iron Hands, then yeah.
Yeah, so no Iron Hands for Felipe, so he just gets so little out of this. And no Ferrograph, too. Obviously, Lucy didn't know that, so there is a chance that they go for... They might not go for Fake Out, just fearing the Ferrograph switch.
Yeah. And at the same time, I mean, you're kind of in a...
You can't see Whimsicott.
To be fair, that's the overlay.
Yeah, the overlay blocking us.
That's something else that we get is when you get the red side or the opposing side cam sometimes blocks the how many turns of Trick Room are left, which is always fun. Miraidon on Felipe's side is going to switch out into that Ogerpon. I mean, at this point, the thing that's brutal about playing against this team is that you just have to worry about so much damage if you can't overwrite the terrain.
Yeah, especially with I would assume Speed Booster Louise, probably Attack Booster Hands, and then maybe Offensive Booster and Crown. But then Bundle and Jugulus are gonna be so fast.
Yeah,
they are very very difficult to outspeed.
Yeah, that's
Fake Outs, but he switched anyway.
Yeah, still a little bit of damage. Tailwind goes down. We'll see what Miraidon wants to go for here. It's just gonna be the Dazzling Gleam, Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam. We've seen a lot of that click today. That does a lot of damage to Whimsicott. Pretty okay damage to the Ogerpon.
Now,
and problem here for the Iron Hands, apart from the fact that apart from anything else, is that Encore can go into the Fake Out now, so you might have to switch out the Iron Hands now if you want it to not have to repeat that move. Although at the same time, the Whimsicott does have 1 turn left, and it has to choose between getting its light screen up to slow this Miraidon a little bit and getting the Encore down. We're going to get the Iron Crown in with that special attack booster. Ogerpon with that spiky shield to protect itself. Whimsicott does get that light screen up, so doesn't fall for the Encore bait, does get the light screen. We'll see if it takes the Dazzling Gleam. I don't think it will.
Yeah, with light screen, I mean, it did a little less than half, or did a little over half, but it did over 100 damage, so.
Yeah, certainly going to be enough there, but Whimsicott basically getting its job done. Tailwind, light screen, out of there. Big question now is, can you survive the onslaught?
Although,
because now this Iron Crowns is Choice Scarf and hits really hard.
Oh, it is Choice Scarf. Okay,
yeah,
I didn't even
sure
is. So if it's Choice Scarf, that means it's probably Special Attack Booster.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it is Special. Yeah, it is. Okay, I can tell by the E.
Yeah.
So yeah, his Special Attack Booster Tachyon Cutter just goes right through the Urshifu. Although, the Urshifu does resist and is faster because of Tailwind. But we'll see. Tachyon Cutter probably won't one-shot anyway. But D-Gleam plus an attack. He also have Volt Switch too on the Crown, which you wouldn't be able to fit without cards. So This is interesting. I think Stellar Terra Surging Strikes probably into Miraidon next go. You probably want to just try and take that out here.
Yeah. They're not going to do some damage to either of them. Ooh, Ivy Cudgel does pick up the knockout. We'll see. Surging Strike's not resisted anymore. We'll see how much this ends up doing.
I
don't think that's enough, but it's going to be close.
That is not going to pick up the KO.
Sure ain't. Miraidon gets that Dazzling Gleam. That's going to, I'll just say now it brings Urshifu to Sash, and does a pretty decent amount to Ogerpon. And that is true Light Screen that it brought Urshifu that low. Iron Hands comes in now, and without anything preventing the fake out at this point, I mean, you know the 4 on Felipe's side, you know Vergiraf isn't anywhere. You can go for the fake out into that Urshifu. Of course it has Protect, but we'll give a little bit more of an opening for Miraidon. And stalls out one of the precious turns of Tailwind that you have. Fake out going into that slot, not going to get there. We'll see actually the Ogerpon, yeah, goes for the Ivy Cudgel into the Miraidon. So, good turn for Felipe, actually. As Lucy is not able to get anything, loses the Miraidon. That'll drop. See what else is in the back here. The final Iron Pokemon.
Yeah, but here's the tough part. Yeah. Tailwind's gone. Bundle here would be pretty devastating, but Leaves comes in, so no speed control.
Leaves is still Speed Booster, though. So,
we'll see. It's Life Orb, it is Speed Booster. So
it'll hit pretty hard.
Yeah, it should take out the Ogerpon.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing here, is that you're not actually worried about hitting hard, you're worried about hitting fast, both of these things, and one of them is going to take a pretty decent hit from the Urshifu. That's that Pokemon. Psyblade was aimed into the Ogerpon.
That's going to do some chip damage, and Urshifu no longer has its Stellar Boost. So the Surging Strikes will not do nearly as much.
Yeah, that does like nothing to Iron Hands. So less of a problem for...
but Felipe making really good calls, getting 2 straight protects right, getting a lot of momentum because of it, preventing a lot of damage. But obviously you can just split target here for Lucy, so that is a KO.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, like, how much does that matter? How much are you going to be able to... Like, this is Assault Vest, Iron Hands, it's Electric type. What can Miraidon do to these two?
Yeah, no Terra Fairy, so...
And the electricity disappears, the Quark Drive wears off, but Miraidon will switch back in now, which usually you would say, oh yay, I get my Miraidon in, and I get my Electric Terrain back, but no, because you give Electric Terrain to both of these Pokemon.
Yeah, and then I believe there is... Actually, I was tracking live screen. I was tracking live screen turns, but that does not matter because there are no more triple tactics left. So I think it's just going to come down to probably just a Psyblade into a looks like low kick. Yeah, low kick.
Yeah, you can kind of do whatever now as long as you can get rid of the Ogerpon right now. Honestly, you might have to try a Spiky Shield on your Ogerpon again.
Yeah,
as you're only out.
There's just no Terra. Miraidon's Dazzling Gleam is not even going to do enough. And Leaves it's still a legendary, right?
Yeah, so Leaves is still going to take pretty nice stats. Psyblade. Oh, that looks so cool. I haven't seen that in
massive damage. D-Gleam kills Iron Hands.
Better damage than I really thought because of the crit.
Yeah, and now not targeting the Ogerpon here means that this game is over.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not that I thought that one was going to end. That crit certainly changed something there, and...
Yeah, the crit... Here's the problem there is they just protected an Ogerpon. You can guarantee the KO on Ogerpon with the Psyblade, and...
That's the thing, is I think you would want to set up the situation, and obviously...
No. And the crit, here's the thing, the crit, I don't think, because of the crit, I do not think it mattered. D-Gleam just KOs Iron Hands, and then we obviously saw that Psyblade did not Oko.
Yeah.
And then,
that is true.
Obviously 2 D-Gleams would just kill the Leaves. So, if they had gone for the Psyblade into, Fire Pawn and not been crit, then that game Actually, I don't know, because I don't know if Iron Hands eats 2 T-Gleams.
It was actually a lot more damage than I thought it would be, but at the same time... Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Oh, no, I realized it. So, because Iron Hands doesn't have to eat 2 T-Gleams, it just has to get 1 low kick off, because then that puts the Miraidon in range of Cyblade, and it just can't outspeed the speed.
Yeah, all it would have needed was 1 additional hit on the Miraidon. So, tough crit, but that's what happens in Pokemon. Excuse me, I had too much pizza. That's what happens in Pokemon. I think a big thing for Felipe in that last game, apart from the end game, was just getting that Tailwind Light Screen up early on. Nothing bad really happened for Whimsicott. Whimsicott did everything it wanted and needed to in that game.
Yeah.
Other things had their issues and what they were actually able to accomplish. But
yeah, I wonder if Jugulis here is good for just matching the Tailwind.
Yeah, because you get your Giga Fast Tailwind and it's a Dark type. So
here's the only problem is you don't have Sash on Jugulis. So the Miraidon, if it's Whimsicott Miraidon, you just outspeed. But then you could just bait it into attacking, give it in Iron Hands, but Bundle comes out.
Ooh, I like Bundle.
Bundle is better than Jugulis here, mainly because of the fact that it can't get OHKO'd.
Yeah, it's got that Sash, it's got Freeze Dry.
You don't get Tailwind, but you still get Icy Wind.
So I received word from the previous round that this Bundle is nasty with the Freeze Dry. It got, I think, multiple freezes on an Amoonguss in the last round against Arnie. Yeah, so there's your background information of the day. But in any case, yeah, I mean, Freeze Dry, Icy Wind does a bunch to both of these Pokemon, like damage-wise as well as just value-wise. Covert Cloak, it won't do anything against the Whimsicott, but you do force the Miraidon in an awkward spot. Nobody switched, so we'll see how this turn goes.
Not wanting to risk the Tailwind Draco Meteor play into the Miraidon. There's going to be Terra Fairy here.
Yeah, with the Lucy Terra and no Terra from the other end.
Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam is pretty safe here. Obviously, a Fire Pond that could come in, but it's not going to love, having to eat a. Thank you.
Yeah, and Bundle's going to get knocked all the way down to Sash off of that Volt Switch. That is the Miraidon power at play there. And I mean, that's the great thing about getting to lead Miraidon and leading Miraidon Whimsicott in general is that if you know that your Volt Switch is not going to be blocked or outsped, then you kind of just get to do that. You get the Icy Wind, and this will do pretty good damage to Whimsicott. Not terrible damage to Ogerpon, especially alongside that Dazzling Gleam. Whimsicott's done, actually. That's it for Whimsicott's day. And Ogerpon takes a bit of damage. But still,
the Ogerpon is the Ogerpon is now slower than the Bundle, but the Bundle's not slower than the Miraidon. So that's the tough part with this matchup.
Yeah, you can kind of just Volt Switch out on the Bundle again, and
the problem is that
do whatever you want.
It's because Felipe just gets reliable Tailwind, and Lucy doesn't have that because their own the only Tailwind setter does not have Sash, so it just cannot get Tailwind up. And so, there used to be I think it was early Reg G, where people would run Jugulis, and it just, they would run Covert, then it have Sash on something else, and the problem is that into into certain matchups, it's just not fast enough. Yeah, it just gets outsped by Prankster Tailwind, and it's getting blown up.
And Bundle goes for the Protect, but I think Felipe read that. Which would be... Now, there's the Electro Drift into the Miraidon. We'll see how much this does. Does indeed KO. Terra Fairy Miraidon versus Terra Fairy Miraidon, and Felipe's comes out on top. And that'll make this, it's pretty over.
Yeah, I think if Lucy reads that, gets the Icy Wind off, the Ogerpon's now effectively at neutral, the Miraidon's only at +1, and now your Bundle is faster, and you can get another Icy Wind off, and it changes the game quite a bit. It's just hard to call that, because you just lose Bundle there.
Yeah.
But I think, it's just kind of a read you have to make in that situation to keep the game going. So now with another Electro Drift, that actually probably threatens to KO on Leaves.
Yeah.
Even if it's a resist, that's just a wickedly powerful move, and I believe this Miraidon is modest, so it's going to hit even harder.
Yep. We'll see.
It's just going to outspeed.
Just going to go for the Bundle. Might as well. Got to get it out of the way eventually. And we know that the Leaves isn't going to pick up an Oko onto Miraidon. Not that it's even able to hit the Miraidon because it's got a Side Blade. Into the Ogerpon, it'll pick up that knockout. But I mean, we are down to final 2 for both of them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, here's the thing. With its hands in the back, this game is very interesting. Because now a double up into Fake Out plus Side Blade might pick up the KO. And then
it'll be close. I don't know if that was the range.
Yeah, I had about 50 HP left. So I don't know if Fake Out's, terrain boot or, Cork Drive boosted Fake Out's going to do enough damage.
Yeah, actually, this is... I was going to say, like, as much as Felipe has been getting a lot of gains in some strict sense from the damage from Miraidon...
But late game Fake Out is...
Well, that, and also you're just losing Pokemon. Like, you lose Whimsicott very early. You lose Ogerpon fairly quickly. We're going to see the Fake Out. We'll see what this does. That's good damage. It's going to be really close. Urshifu with a close combat into the Iron Hands. That's not a lot of damage.
I'm actually thinking here... The play might have been a double Urshifu because this Miraidon's not going to be able to KO Iron Hands. I get this play. Oh, it does pick up the KO.
And it picks up the KO?
So that damage roll from the last game did about 50, so I think that was just a low roll because Fake Out plus Side Blade picks up the KO, and now at this point there's no way Urshifu can beat a Leaves. Period. It just Leaves has the type advantage here. So
yeah.
What are the things
now
about
that Tailwind is done, this one's pretty wrapped up.
Yeah, no, then that is game. And Leaves is both Leaves and Crown have actually seen success on Miraidon teams in this reg.
Yeah.
I actually ran the Crown team this weekend, but it's just not an easy team to use, so I kind of struggled. But it's not really the team's fault, to be honest. But there's a Leaves team as well that also had a lot of success. The exact same set that he was running. Terra's a little bit different. It was Terra normal, but it still got this. Can get the speed boost. It obviously has Life Orb, great natural attack stat, and it's just quite difficult to KO. Although this are quite difficult to deal with, especially because it has really specifically good matchups with its typing. Even though on the surface it may not be very good, we obviously saw Urshifu can struggle into it. But it's actually Sacred Sword in the set, which I don't mind. Don't want to get walled by steel types. The set that I saw was Terra Normal and had actually Mega Horn, which is nasty. Because Mega Horn is a bug coverage move, but it's just such a high base power move that you can really pick up a lot of KOs. The really annoying grass types that Miraidon does not like.
Yeah.
But yeah, Leaves and Crown both have seen a lot of success. Obviously, he can't run Life Orb Crown and Life Orb Leaves, so that's why he's Sash on, or the Scarf on Crown. Which makes sense. Yeah, you get the speed advantage and...
yeah, you have a lot of ways to boost up that speed, and I think what's interesting as well, and we'll see... terrain.
No terrain, so I think Lucy tried to call the Miraidon lead again, and is not able to get their free boost here, which is a little unfortunate, but... You got Fake Out pressure into the Ogerpon.
You do, but you don't have... yeah, and I guess the speed's not as big of an issue right now, but I don't know, this is going to be awkward. Leaves has to get out of here.
If it's a heavy slam into Whimsicott here, this could be another really good play. With that switch, it leads me to believe that it's just a heavy slam into Whimsicott. I don't see a reason why you would switch Fake Out, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, just stepping back from it, I think the thing that's interesting about Lucy's team is that Miraidon is obviously the restricted, has a ton of damage, does all this stuff, but all these other things do a bunch of damage because they're boosted by the Quark Drive and boosted by their items and stuff like that.
That is a heavy slam. So, no
Sash. I'll certainly pick up the knockout with that Quark Drive boost. Probably did it without, but...
So, he gets the Tailwind, but has to sacrifice Whimsicott, does not get Light Screen.
And gets no damage. It's one Pokemon for Tailwind, and when you're playing against a team that's... it's roughly similar. There are 2 Miraidons, it's a bunch of other guys with Miraidon, including like an Iron Hand some of the time.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to play around that because now you have to go, oh man, I need to take out 4 Pokemon, and they only need to take out 3, and even slower.
He is locked into a Volt Switch on Miraidon right now, so he is not... he's going to try and call the Terra Fairy on Lucy, who Terra Fairyed immediately game 2, and it worked out. The hand switches, I like that play. You want to get Fake Out late game, that's what won you game 2. Leaves is obviously nice, but hands just being able to Fake Out, Miraidon in the end game, they haven't brought... they've brought the same... Felipe's brought the same 4 every game. Which, obviously, it can be the best 4, but that also gives a lot of information to your opponent because you know what's happening. and they kind of feel like they have to. So,
Ogerpon, Terra, and Hearth Flame. Gets the attack boost. That could be the big difference. I mean, if you can pick double knockouts up here, then that would be the game changer. But
I think he locked into the Leaf slot, which, you know, goodbye Leaves, but that allows Iron Hands to stay healthy, which is really good, obviously, into Maridon. And now, Maridon doesn't have Terra on Felipe's side, so that no longer, you know, Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam is no longer as much of a threat.
Yeah, Terra Fairy in general is no longer a threat if you can manage it. You know what type
Oh,
it
he
to be.
did go into it. He hard called the Terra with Volt Switch and Ivy Cudgel. Draco Meteor breaks the sash on the Urshifu. And now, I think at this point, you just kind of stall Tailwind, because now your Leaves is still healthy. You can probably just switch into Iron Hands and Protect here. You might, I don't think you bait out of Protect out of either Mon here, but you can keep Leaves safe. Yeah, switch on Maridon, your Iron Hand's still full HP, you can keep your Leaves safe, because Leaves now in the end game is so devastating, you know, with, you know, the terrain boosted Psyblades, because Psyblade gets its damage boosted by 50% in the terrain, so it's 120 base power move with no drawback, so it's basically like Psychic type close combat.
Yeah.
And it's a Terra for Terra Water. That actually makes a lot of sense. You're not gonna, you know, Ivy Cudgel won't pick up the KO.
Yeah, helps eat an Ivy Cudgel this turn.
Although if it crits, it will kill. I would just say that right now. So
I can't imagine that it won't.
No caster Jinx, and it lives. CC does not, no double up.
Yeah.
So Psyblade will pick up the KO. I'm assuming on the Terrafire.
I mean, you could even just go for a bazillion damage onto the Ogerpon, yeah, because you have Fake Out next turn.
Yep. Huge damage. And now you're threatening Fake Out.
And you could just, at this point, you can just Fake Out Ogerpon and then hit the Urshifu. I think it's gotta be
this is the last turn. This is the last turn of Tailwind.
Yeah.
So I think Felipe needed to call the Fake Out slot here, because the problem is this is the last turn of Tailwind, and now Leaves is just going to pick up a KO next turn.
Yeah.
You know, Protect was safe there too.
Everybody protects.
Yeah, everybody protects, because you've got...
this could be important, actually. Well, not that important. Okay.
Yeah.
Pick the slot that did not get Spiky Shielded.
Exactly. And so now Leaves just picks up a KO here. I mean, obviously technically the Maridon could switch in here, but that's not going to work. So I think at this point, you just Psyblade probably into the Urshifu, maybe, just because maybe they go for Follow Me here on Ogerpon, and then he gets redirected anyway.
I mean, at the same time, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Urshifu does a whole lot to you in the cosmic sense.
But yeah, because both get walled by Urshifu, both get walled by Maridon anyway, right? So
yeah,
I think you're better off getting rid of Urshifu because it has close combat.
I just like getting rid of the Ogerpon because I don't want Follow Me lingering around any longer than it has to. And it might click Follow Me this turn anyways, but I think you probably get rid of both these Pokemon this turn regardless. Iron Leaves is going to hit that Ogerpon with the Psyblade, knock that out.
Yeah, and at this point,
And I don't think Urshifu will pick up a knockout onto Iron Hands.
No, so like if he goes into Iron Hands and Leaves, like, is it still alive, right?
Yeah, I think Leaves is still fine.
So now Leaves can just outspeed.
Yeah. But that means that Urshifu drops now.
Yeah, so either he KOs the Leaves, and that no longer is a threat, or he puts enough damage into Iron Hands to make it be in range of an attack from Maridon, but now Iron Hands just pick up the KO, and I believe, is it Bundle in the back for Lucy?
We don't know, but probably. I mean, I think Bundle would make the most sense, and would work the best.
Yeah, Bundle would just, no Terra, it's at full HP, so Freeze Dry won't KO, but it would have Sash, so it'd just be game over. Because two
Electricity disappears, but Miraidon has to switch in here, so if Lucy just wants to bring the Iron Bundle back in here, yeah, sure is. He certainly can.
In the Bundle, I think you just... Actually, yeah, you have a guaranteed win here by just switching into your Miraidon, sacking it, attacking with your Bundle, and then you can, if Maridon goes down, you bring Hands right back in, Fake Out, attack. There's absolutely nothing that Felipe can do with that sequence of...
Well, and frankly... there are a lot of different things that Lucy can do here to basically guarantee a victory. You can go for, like, an Icy Wind first. Yeah, I guess that could miss, but you go for the Icy Wind first, and you secure the speed drop so that you know that your Miraidon's going to be faster. It does deal with miss
Hands doesn't even KO.
Hans isn't even taken down, and Hans is going to pick up that last knockout, and Lucy Parker moves to 3-0 on the day.
Wow.
The Iron team.
Very well played. Lucy did not, game 1, let Whimsicott stay around too long, got its light screen up, and this game, last 2 games, instantly KO'd. It's the Whimsicott in both games, and stalled out Tailwind, and then the booster, just booster damage was too much. Especially Leaves. Leaves just being able to pick up so much damage in that game, in both game 2 and 3.
Yeah, and if you don't have the Rillaboom, which I haven't seen a Rillaboom today, but I assume there are some around, but if you don't have a Rillaboom or don't have Psy Spam or anything on that end, then it's really tough to play against this team where they just have so many free stats.
Yeah, we've seen another Paradox team with with a Koraidon and 4 Paradox Sun, ancient Pokemon. So it genuinely is a strategy. If your opponent just does not have a specific Pokemon, giving free stat boost to your entire team is extremely difficult to do. So, yeah.
In any case, that'll be it for round number 3, getting into crunch time in the Swiss stage. We'll be back in just a minute for round number 4.